Happy birthdays as well. You always find the latest courtyard permanent solution. Out of the box.
Hello and welcome to Radio Waves by Todderbert. If you enjoy reviews, comparisons, band scans of new and classic portable radios, then make sure to subscribe and tap the bell icon so you don't miss any of my most excellent videos. In front of us, we have the GE Superadio II. This is a classic AM/FM portable radio from the 1980s. During this video, I'll perform an evening AM band scan, but first score features, second I'll do a size comparison, and third I'll start cruising the AM band. What a beast I can say the Superadio II is. Yeah, this thing rocks. You can find this selling on eBay for right around $50 to $100 depending. It fluctuates all over the place. I've seen a lot of good deals going for $50. Some better ones at $70, maybe around $100 to get in a box with it. But right around $50 is a sweet spot. You go on eBay, I'll pay links below, check it out. If you're looking for this kind of radio, this is probably one of the best analog radio experiences you're going to have if you own a portable radio. This is it. Superadio 1 or 2. I prefer the 1, but the 2's neat. It's got the tweeter and a little higher pitched mid-range speaker here. But although overall, they're excellent radios. So let's talk about features of the Superadio II by GE. So I'll flip it to the left here. It's heavy because it has 6 D-cell batteries inside. You can see it's got the design elements. They didn't change that from the first to second model. They did do a radical revamp from the Model 2 to the 3, though. I don't have a Superadio 3 yet. Eventually, I hope I will. I heard it's a decent radio, though some argue that the 2 and the 1 are the best. Going to the front here, got to lift this back up for our dial. There you go, it's kind of angled. You got FM 88 to 108. You got a log scale in the middle. AM, it goes 530 to 1630, it says. And it says long range, high selectivity. Nice. Now during the day, I believe I get to 1650 kilohertz. So we should be able to get the same in the evening. Nice. Let's bring this back down. So right here you can see we got a metal speaker grill, and a lot of these rust over time. So when you're looking and you see some deals on a Superadio 2, it may be rusted or might be dented. So just keep that in mind when you're looking. Though I've seen a lot of good examples of Superadio 2s versus 1s. So people with the original ones beat the heck out of them. So yeah, we got a 6.5-inch speaker. Now when I measure it, it measures 5 inches visual. But I think they're measuring out to the mounting flanges. I read that in the user manual. And we got a 2-inch tweeter here. GE General Electric Superadio II. Tuning knob on the front. You can change the dial string. There's actually instructions in the user manual. And you can change it and they show you how to string it. Because mine's probably going to need it. It gets a little tight here at the bottom of the band. It might stick a little. But otherwise, it still tunes okay. Sounds nice. Band select switch. We have FM and AM. We'll leave it on AM. On FM, you have your automatic frequency control, which you can turn off. People find they have the best sensitivity that way. Turn it on to get the strong stations. Important, treble, bass. Now this radio has a lot of highs to it. And for me, I'm liking the mellow low tones of the original. So I have to turn my treble down. And the bass, maybe up this a little bit. It's kind of like where I like to have it on the AM band. Loudness is your volume control. Go to the right hand side of the radio. We have more. We have a headphone jack. Nice. Top of the radio. Oh, that was the handle. We have our on-off power switch, which is in decent shape. The original ones get this chrome worn off with use. Our antenna, also in decent shape. These are also notorious for breaking. People just were rough on their radios. 38 inches and swivels, 360. This one fits in there nice and tight there. Perfect. Our handle is metal. Yep. Real metal, which is a surprise to see on radios. It's kind of a thing you don't see anymore. Go to the back of the radio here, where the cool stuff happens. We got the internal ferrite antenna, the 200 millimeter. As you can see, it says AM ferrite rod antenna. Sweet. Down here, we can hook up our external antennas. So I want to talk about FM there on the top, and then down here we have our AM. So we have our aerial and ground. This one was made in China. The earlier ones were made in Hong Kong. There you go. And then behind the battery compartment, I guess I could show it to you. Get this open on camera. Bear with me. It's got 3 little tabs here. Now, in the user manual, 6 D-cell batteries will last you 460 hours, it said. 460, that's quite a bit. So probably at lower volumes. But there you go, there's the D-cells. They look a little crooked, but I don't think I'm going to mess with them. They might pop out. AC cord, there's a transformer on the inside, so you could permanently plug it in. If you've got a shop radio or a kitchen radio, you're rocking. Shelf radio, this thing's awesome. I mean, this is going to be a shelf talker for sure. And I know they made a lot of these, so if you're in the market for one, I think that price I told you should be pretty stable for the next couple of years easily. Unless something unforeseen happens, but I don't think so. All right. I got to manhandle this thing around. Yeah, I'm going to do a lot of spinning with this radio too. I don't have a lazy Susan, those little plates that turn. That'd be nice. But yeah, I can't find one that's super quiet. If you guys know of one that's super quiet, maybe has like lubricated metal bearings or something, that's probably what I'm looking for. So, okay, it's a quick size comparison, and I'll start cruising the band. So, I get the center. Hard to tell, it's so huge. Our culprits here, we got the CC Pocket, AM, FM weather alert. Keep in your pocket. You can see the big size difference here. Pretty much has a clock on there, which is nice, 11:34 p.m. That's Central Daylight Time near Chicago, Illinois, USA, for the sake of the band scan. We are in the month of August, so it could be difficult. We'll see how it goes. Sometimes summer months are harder than winter months. It's a lot easier for the signals to travel through the cold air versus the warm, humid air. And we have the CC Skywave 2 AM, FM, stereo when you're wearing headphones. Weather alert, airband shortwave. Yeah, this is a great little radio. I love it. But you could buy 2 super radios for the price of one of these, so I could see you guys saying, hey, I want 2 of those super radios instead. I don't blame you. It's that awesome. But we'll use this for frequency checking. Digital, tuner, you can see where you're at, which is really nice. And if you don't have those 2 radios, who's in town? But Iron Man, he's the man with the master plan. He can spin like no one can. He loves large speakers from GE Superadio Land. Dun, 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 dun. Yes, they made them in China back in the day, but it was a company made in the USA. Hey, it rhymed. Anyway, turn it on. Switch on top. Starting at the bottom of the band, I'm not going to keep lifting this radio up so you can see the scale, but just know that the accuracy is pretty much dead on. My Super Radio Revision 1, or first, it's dead on as well. Start tuning.
And I used to live in Minneapolis.
That's 5:30.
And I called them to say, I hear people saying Governor Walsh, shouldn't have called it.
Here's 540, WAUK Jackson, Wisconsin, 70 miles, 400 watts to the north. It's picking it up because there's a large antenna. I could be pointing it. Of course, it's omnidirectional, so I can point to the south or north. Excuse me, bidirectional. So omnidirectional would be every direction, but bidirectional, north or south. And I could pick up the north station.
It changed overnight.
Pointing it west, we're picking up something else. So that gentleman's voice, I believe, is CBK, Watrous, Saskatchewan, which is 1,025 miles to the northwest. If I move it towards that direction, I start picking up WAUK again.
But I just want to say that safety.
So that's the beauty of AM. So what I'm using is the bass and treble as filters. I'm using the bass to try to get a low tone, kind of cut down the noise floor a bit. The bass is working really good for me for that. And of course, treble, I just kicked it all the way off to try to get the best legibility. If you have the headphones on, you probably would hear more.
Up there talking and hearing that Minnesota accent.
There, again, it's a very thriving shopping center, and right there is CJ's Restaurant and Bar. They have an outside patio. They have a side patio so you can stay out of the sun, or maybe you want a little sun. It's going to be nice this weekend so you can sit outside and have lunch, dinner. CJ's, great food, great.
KTRS 550 St. Louis, Missouri, coming in good. 275 miles southwest, and it's 5,000 watts at night.
It's family owned. It all starts with great food and a great staff. Whether it's a casual lunch, a nice little Italian something, great burgers, great pub fare. CJ's Restaurant and Bar. It's hard to find a good family-run restaurant in St. Charles. Well, you got one. CJ's. Go support it. CJ's Restaurant and Bar. Corner Highway N and Highway K. CJ's Restaurant and Bar.
Are you ready for the Wendy Lee Show? Weekdays 10 to noon on the Big 550 KTRS, the talk of St. Louis.
When selling the largest
Here, I wanted to get the call letters. Sweet.
your home, you have two different ways of doing it. One,
The rioting in the summer of 2020, Tim Walz was the guy who let rioters burn down Minneapolis, and then Kamala Harris was the one who bailed the rioters.
Here's 560 WIND Chicago.
Wow, pretty interesting. By the way, the First Lady of Minnesota, basked in the riots, literally telling local media.
You said to me, we have more conversation on the Giants hard knocks of the Bears. I would have told you we're not talking about the Giants at all. I mean, the Giants gave us a lot, but it gave us a little bit of Saquon Barkley. We talked about how we saw how bad of an offseason this was for Danny Dimes, right? They just want to get rid of him. I don't really want to get that with the Bears.
Okay, KCSP, Kansas City, Missouri, 400 miles, 5,000 watts.
There's nothing. Right? What are we going to see? A couple more drills with Caleb Williams. Some more conversations with Eberflus where he just keeps talking. It's like, all right, you made your point. Make your point. Let it go. Get to the next thing.
We haven't negotiated a price yet, but they want to sell it to me, somewhat close to what they paid for it. So I guess my question is, I know it's a good deal.
WTMJ 620, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, 52 miles to the north, 10,000 watts at night.
We're wondering about, are there going to be capital gains taxes? How does it work with me buying it at much less than what it's worth? How does all that kind of work? And what's some ways around, if there are any, around capital gains and things like that?
capital gains tax is calculated on the
Okay, that music there is KYFI, St. Louis, Missouri. And yeah, we're picking that up. And I'm trying to pick up CFCO, which is country music. Kind of mixing. I can hear it. Okay.
Necessarily represent those of BIN and its founding partners and employees.
I'm Mo Kelly on the BIN with your 2-minute warning. A man in Virginia is facing charges after he allegedly made threats.
So here's WMFN 640, Peatone, Illinois, 75 miles, 1,600 watts.
And FBI Director Christopher Wray. Frank Lucio Carrillo, 66 years old, was arrested for the threats. And this is according to a pair of court filings made on August 2nd.
And flirting with that old desire and falling again.
There you go. You can kick back in the evening and tune in WSM 650 on the dial. Nashville, Tennessee, 434 miles to the south. I'm rhyming tonight. Dials, miles. I love it.
Love again.
At its first ever large
So I'm trying to get 660. I don't think I'm going to be able to. I can hear it barely coming in.
Find your
back-to-school essentials at the Wayfair store in Edens Plaza in Wilmette. Or shop online at wayfair.com now.
Road 894-6680.
.670 The Score, WSCR Chicago, home of the Cubs.
John is in Rochester.
Hey, Bart, great show, man. I've been listening to you for a month now, and
Million as part of the Japanese manufacturers global. Yokohama Rubber said it's
yeah, right.
latter part of
Sports with top athletes, coaches, and leaders. Hosted by Michaela Schreider and Vanessa Sanchez.
The Olympics continue. We've got track, we've got field, we've got soccer, we've got stretch, we've got game.
He's got game. Saturday morning at 11 on TSN 690.
There you go. CKGM, Montreal, Quebec, 763 miles. Nice.
Destination you'll ever need to visit for all your porcelain tiles, counters.
fields and industries ranging from industrials to healthcare and technology, buying assets overseas to help diversify and expand.
700 WLW, Cincinnati, Ohio, 300 miles. Let's see the highs here.
Their economy is not doing as well, so they're looking for other opportunities out in other areas so that they can grow their businesses and keep their businesses and their shareholders happy. Yokohama Rubber's products include tires for passenger cars, trucks, and business and buses, as well as industrial vehicles, according to its website.
You get enough base for sure.
The tires are used in industries,
companies, bills and all that.
Well,
I don't get to see the
with that trifecta of attorneys, car deals, and bills, he probably isn't paying some of those bills.
I know. I'm thinking, man, this guy here, he's involved with something.
Yeah.
But
720 WGN, Chicago, Raleigh James Show.
What do they call paper money? What do they call it now? They got a name for it.
They got a name for it?
Yeah. What do you mean they're going to do away with it? You mean I've been hoarding all this paper money in my mattress and it's so good?
Are you talking about banknotes?
When it was Republicans who were talking about freedom.
Minnesota Governor Tim Walz yesterday.
I was hoping that was coming in nicer. CFZM 740, Toronto, Ontario, 460 miles.
Folks hadn't heard about a week ago. What's been the reaction in Capitol Hill?
Well, certainly he is almost an everyman, right? In addition to kind of how these politicians...
But the 750 WSB, Atlanta, Georgia, 630 miles southeast. As you guessed, cardinal directions, north, south, east, west.
It's a very, savvy counter move to the Trump campaign's picking of J.D. Vance. Picking a man who hunts often, he's a teacher, he served in the military, although the Trump campaign has argued that he left.
Who can help? Last month, Oasis helped over 3,000 people. Why not you? If you have an attorney, call Oasis Financial today at 877-266-9107. It takes just 3 minutes to apply, and once you're
WGR, Detroit, Michigan, 270 miles east.
in as little as 24 hours with no risk to you. That's right. Get $500 to $100,000. Convince the NCAA to your case. You don't have to pay Oasis back ever. So call Oasis.
She's satisfied.
There's now, so we probably.
All right, Stephen, go ahead.
I don't think that's true. The biggest racist is.
They're on I-80.
There's a hint of 770 WABC in here. That's New York, New York. That speaker, possibly. Okay, we'll keep going.
Ford Freeway is blocking your 2 left lanes. So far, so good on the outbound Dan Ryan. That earlier crash gone around 47 to the Express. The Kennedy looking good either direction. If you're on the inbound side of the Edens, it is tight as you approach Tui. Just a little slow traffic there.
780 WBBM News Radio Chicago. Old-time radio shows Monday through Friday, 12 a.m. to 1 a.m. Central Standard Time.
BBM.
Or daylight time right now.
The AccuWeather forecast tonight, clear to partly cloudy, lows ranging from 57 in some western suburbs to 68 at the lakefront. Tomorrow, times of sunshine and clouds, seasonably mild, a high of 83. Tomorrow night, partly cloudy, a bit cool, lows ranging from 52 in some outer suburbs to 63 at the lakefront. And Friday,
get that to sound good.
Sunshine, not as warm, low humidity, a high of 76. The average.
Became to make the Father known, John 1:18. In Kansas City.
You know,
Nothing against Kansas City.
No,
but I mean, just like, how many eyeballs are on the Kansas City Royals all the time?
I think it's WHB 810 Kansas City, Missouri, 400 miles, 5,000 watts.
Everybody knew who he was. I don't think that's the case.
I just think they're so far. Like, doesn't it seem forever ago?
From the Aircraft AC Heating and Plumbing Studio, this is News Talk 820 WBAP, and now on FM at 93.3.
You know what really bothers me about Tim Wolf as a Marine?
Okay, cool. So yeah, she said WBAP. I don't know if you heard that. Yeah, it's Fort Worth, Texas. We're talking southwest here, 810 miles.
Tim Wolf was asked by his country to go to Iraq. You know what he did?
8:30, typically this way, but not getting anything last couple days.
Would challenge that, and the First Amendment would challenge that. So the states can reserve the right to stand up respectively and say, guess what? We have the right to say no. We have the right to fight.
840 WHAS, Louisville, Kentucky, 300 miles to southeast, and they have ground zero right now, and they have coast to coast, like everybody else. Coast to coast. I usually use 840 as my tuning station for coast to coast.
Well, in 1861, they did that, if you remember. That was the Civil War, and you saw how that ended.
Mm-hmm.
So, this is a...
CJBC, Toronto, Ontario, on 860.
And at the bottom, I have to go with the NFC South. I don't care what that speaker said about the Falcons. They may win that division by default. Who knows? They could actually finish in last place. But that is actually the worst division in football. So maybe you could forward that on to the...
Okay, we're going south. This is sounding strong.
And where you want to rank the other divisions as you wish, sir.
The Bardometer, and Robert, thanks for the call. The Bardometer, 11 o'clock Eastern, 8 Pacific on Thursday nights.
WWL 870, New Orleans, Louisiana, 865 miles south.
Have some. I write them down if you guys have a good suggestion. What we're looking at for tomorrow, Robert has suggested most delusional fan bases.
That will boost safety and economics for the entire area.
CBS 2's Jennifer McLogan reporting. 2024 on WCBS. Now to the Garden State, the presidential ballot this November. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. will appear as an independent.
You probably heard it. Call letters, WCBS. It's 880, New York, New York, 750 miles northeast.
Sore loser law. That rule bars candidates who ran in a primary.
We have certain, I don't want to say guardrails, but certain constraints, certain limitations that we have to operate within.
Here's 890 WLS Chicago, southeast.
If we want to have free speech, we have to be able to deal with certain elements of free speech that we don't like. But we shouldn't have to deal with things where...
I'll go a little quicker.
Here, coming right back,
The devil is out to steal the souls of our children.
Awesome. WFAW 940. Fort Atkinson, Wisconsin. Rockin' the evening. I love it.
What I used to say, but she don't care. To mock religion, who will mock our Catholic faith, to be a part of this
Tied it 6-6 here in the ninth. Nothing can stop me. I'm all the way up.
1,000.
Fan on the call. Jackson Merrill hits a solo home run at the top of the ninth. You heard there to tie it at 6. They go to
WMVP Chicago.
and both teams would score. It would actually be the Padres getting a 9-8 victory in 10 innings. So runs aplenty and a lot of drama there late. San Diego Padres are 13.
Was the lyrics to a song that he had started to write for me. And
This sounds like the 1040 WHO, Des Moines, Iowa, 280 miles.
touching to me to have him think about what our marriage meant to him and what our relationship was about. It far exceeded the price of any engagement ring. The engagement ring ended up being a real bonus, of course, because now I have it on my finger all the time. But the real gift of having this start of a song that he had composed for me touched me far deeper.
42424. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This card is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
This year, Dell Technologies Back to School event is delivering impressive tech with an inspiring purpose. Learn how Dell is helping Computerity, whose work is helping solar community hubs with tech and AI literacy skills to empower remote, displaced, or disconnected communities around the world. Help Dell make a difference and shop AI-ready PCs.
Earned a gold in the women's team event, and about half of those website visits resulted in a sale. The opening weekend of the Summer Games is also a big spending weekend for Visa card holders. Visa saw a big jump in spending at
A little bit of a filter here. I believe is going to be 1160 WYLL.
Americans, though, are spending their money at Disney Park. The Walt Disney Company says it is welcoming...
Oh, I jumped way up there. This is KYW 1060. What am I doing? Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, 700 miles.
Bloomberg on KYW. I'm Nancy Lyons.
There she said it.
News time 12:57.
Bass really helps.
HD2 Philadelphia.
Always live on the Free Odyssey app. 40 days up to...
Asking for an awesome responsibility.
Say that there is a way out. All you need to do is give my office a call. I will send you a timeshare exit information kit absolutely free, explaining how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free info kit. Call 800-522-5700.
Here's 1100 WTAM, Cleveland, Ohio, 300 miles.
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the third time in the last...
Okay, coast to coast. That might be 1100. I don't know what I had before. Yeah, this is 1100. Yeah, coming in way better. All right. Coast to coast, of course.
Quickly approaching the one-year anniversary of the horrific...
You're not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.
KMOX, St. Louis, Missouri.
Not insurance.
They say to make yourself indispensable at work, so I developed a digital catering solution that only I can operate. Okay, it's actually easycater.com.
David! They love me, because
Like GAF, right at my fingertips 24/7. I rely on Beacon because I never stop building, and neither do they. Now through September 15th, purchase GAF through Beacon Pro Plus and earn up to $1,500.
1140 WRVA, Richmond, Virginia. Now I'm just going to go right up the band and we'll do our final thoughts.
Retirement can be scary, but only if you're not prepared. That's why
Engaging in conversations on both sides of the aisle. It's Ben Cominos and Outside the Box. Weekday mornings at 8:30 on WHBY.
Attention bargain hunter. Woodward's big deals are waiting for you. Save up to 30%.
So, okay, wow, WHBY. There's 1150, Kimberly, Wisconsin. I don't hear that too often. 135 miles. Yeah, should be able to pick it up. I have it written down as 25,000 watts.
Don't miss out.
Church. Many of us do not understand what we are facing or know how to ask for help.
At the American Psychiatric Association Foundation, we understand.
This is Wham, 1180, Rochester, New York, 545 miles.
Build a mentally healthy nation for all.
Program will be recorded. News Radio 1200 WOAI, San Antonio, and the iHeart radio station, the exclusive audio home of NBC's coverage of the 2024 Paris Olympics.
Well, we got the call letter, San Antonio. I'll put a little pop-up here for the information. I don't have it written down on the side here. There you go.
Also on the campaign trail in the battleground.
Barely a half game back.
Nominee of the Democrat Party for 17 days. This is to take a single Party for 17 days.
60-mile-an-hour winds and should make landfall in South Carolina within hours. Fox Weather's Brandy Campbell is in Wrightsville Beach, North Carolina.
We could see 3 to 5 inches.
Plus, we take a triple on the diamond. One out and nobody on. Down by one. Swing to the first.
Debbie's also expected to inundate the Carolinas with more rain and flooding. Is it next?
Por eso no de extrañarte.
1610 CHHA, Toronto.
Me vieran pasar de brazos.
It's increasingly likely that 2024 will be the hottest year on record despite... It says last month was the second warmest on record books going back.
I guess 1630, Iowa City, Iowa. Cool. Okay, we'll turn it off here. There it is, the GE Superadio at night. Rockin'. Love it. Superadio 2. Yeah, I gotta make sure I say that. This is awesome. Most people like the 2 model because of you get the more fidelity in the speaker. Yeah, I can see why. You got a lot of play here with the bass treble to get those signals to pop out there and get some audio out of some noise. So that's really, really handy to have. With the original, you can do it, but it's a little different. It's just one speaker, so a little extra highs here does help. But yeah, overall, love it. So if you guys want to support the channel, definitely check out the pay link section for the Superadio 2. Pick yourself up one and enjoy the analog goodness that the GE provides. Yeah, you can just plug it in. Forget those 6D cells because, man, it adds some weight to this radio, let me tell you. Unless you're going out to the woods and listening to some Bach, like the original ads. Definitely in 2. Subscribe with the bell icon, get notified of future videos. Yeah, once you're subscribed, you can, always know what's being produced. And I like GE radios. I'm going to try to hunt down some more. I'm a fan. And 3, comment below what you think about the GE Superadio 2. Are you going to pick one up? Do you already have 1, 2, or 3 of these things? Some people have multiples. They love it so much. So there you go. All right, guys. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in my next video.